Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries. Welcome back to the afternoon session of the Economic Conference. I am pleased and proud to present to you this afternoon Mr. David Havlíček.
Perfect.
He is the government's National Economic Council member, which is an independent...
Secretary. Only secretary, not member.
You're not a member?
No.
If you're secretary, you're not a member?
No.
Okay. He's not a member, he's the secretary of the National Economic Council. The anachronism is NERV. It is an independent advisory body assisting the government to find the most appropriate form of economic reforms and measures. NERV advised the Czech government from January 2009, and I would assume you are still advising the Czech government today, and that continues. And when the Czech Republic began to feel the first effects of the recession, NERV was there. So a big round of applause for Mr. David Havlíček. Thank you.
Thank you for introduction, and first of all, I really thank you for inviting me to this special event. It's a great pleasure to be here, and special thanks also to Mr. Donfried for perfect cooperation. My team is Economic Context of Income Inequality in European Union. But first of all, I say a few words about the National Economic Council, then why deal with income inequality, then the point what is and what is not income inequality, then this economic context and analysis of mutual associations of economic variables. So as would say about NERV, it exists from 2009. It consists of 15 members. It's independent advisory body. It means that NERV members aren't state employee. They are only advisors, and they have no financial reward for it. So they do it in their free time. I'm a secretary, so I'm employee of the Office of the Government, and the role of NERV was firstly advise government to handle with consequences of financial crisis. But nowadays, its main purpose is to advise about major reforms like pension reforms, healthcare reforms, and so. So, why deal with income inequality? There is some general point that income inequality can indicate, for example, social tensions. And so we have to measure it and put it to some objective measures when we can see what are consequences. But nowadays there is another important point why deal with income inequality. It's a financial crisis and consequences about it, because financial crisis has, I think, three main directions of impact on this income inequality. For example, different impact on particular social classes. It means that, for example, people who get unemployed are mainly from low income, so the income inequality grows. The second direction is that financial crisis made long-term structural effects. For example, the BRICS countries are going up, and Western societies economically stagnate. And that have influence also on income inequality. And third direction is that the government austerity measures as well as government pro-growth measures can change social stratification. In general, governments want to narrow income inequality, but there is some side effects, as we will see during the results of analysis. So what is and what is not income inequality? Income inequality measures income stratification in whole society. So it is not poverty indicator, because poverty indicator is, for example, at risk of poverty rate measures only or stress only the poorest part of inhabitants. And there is also difference between income inequality and wealth inequality, because the richest people may not be the people with the highest income, for example, thanks to heritage and so on. And there is also difference between income inequality, or as we can group all these indicators, poverty indicator, wealth indicators, and income indicators as they are subgroup of economic inequality. And there is difference between economic inequality and justice. Some journalists make general conclusions that high income inequality is unjustifiable and so. But income inequality can have positive and also negative consequences. For example, positive consequences is motivation, that when people think that going to university or do better job will earn them more gains, so they will be motivated to really do it. But if there is no difference between doing ourselves better and doing nothing, so they don't have motivation. But there is also negative consequences of income inequality. For example, clustering of wealth. It means that it limits opportunities of others. For example, wealthy people have better conditions for loans in banks. They can more influence government decisions, and they have also better or more opportunities in economies of scale. In general, we should incorporate to income inequality also non-financial income, such as education, healthcare, and so. But to our analysis, I skip it because there is no so big differences between European Union countries. Income inequality we can measure by many indices, like Gini index, Thale, or Hoover, but we can use also ratio of average income of the people with the highest income to the average income of the people with the lowest income. This ratio was used in this analysis. It is ratio 80-20. It means ratio of upper quintile to lower quintile. And here is the economic context which was analyzed, because there are many studies about influencing economic variables each other and within income inequality. So I put into analysis these economic variables. I will go deep during explanation the results. But now, for example, life cycle, we can see that the medium age in Western society is rising, and so as income inequality. It's because retirement people has lower income than people in productive age. So life cycle can influence income inequality. Then, for example, education, that according to data of OECD, the people with tertiary educated people have more than 50+% more income than people with finished secondary education. And for example, economic growth. Some economists claims that the higher income inequality can retard economic growth in poor countries, but encourage it in well-developed countries. Here is only a graph of income inequality in European Union. It's the darkest green. We can see that the lowest income inequality is in Slovenia and then Czech Republic. But on the other hand, the highest income inequality is in Baltic states, Latvia and Lithuania, and also in states with which has currently debt crisis, like Spain, Romania, Greece, Portugal, Italy. And the lighter green indicates at risk of poverty rate. As we can compare it, Czech Republic is the country with the lowest at risk of poverty rate, and again, Baltic states and debt crisis countries has the highest. Germany is right in the middle in both indicators. And then this analysis. So the data set for this analysis was yearly data from 1995 to 2010 from all 27 European Union countries. Source for this data set is Eurostat, and the way of analysis was correlation and panel regression analysis. Of course, this analysis has some weak points. We cannot say directly that one economic variable influences others, because there can be some hidden variables which aren't included in the analysis, and so we can speak only about associations or mutual movements. Then really cause and consequence. Here's a result of correlation coefficient analysis of income inequality and economic variables. Here you can see which variables was used to this analysis. This tertiary graduates, net income of single parent, total receipts from taxes, GDP, harmonized inflation, crimes, or number of crimes, median age of population, life expectancy, at risk of poverty rate, GDP change, and social protection benefits in absolute way, and also in the ratio social benefits to net income, and last gross debt to income ratio of households. You can see from these results that the strongest mutual movement is between income inequality and at risk of poverty rate. So these two variables are the most linked. The others are below in absolute way 0.2. So it means that the movement isn't so correlated, but there is still statistically significant relations as a result of panel regression analysis. So result of panel regression analysis of mutual relations between not only income inequality and these variables, but also these economic variables within is this. But don't be afraid, I focus only on few of them. You can see the green arrow means that these economic variables are positively correlated. It means that when one economic variable grows, the other one too. And the red means that if one variable grows, the second go lower. The direction of arrow means what is, according to regression analysis, cause and what is consequence. So I focus only on three subgroups of these relations. First subgroup will be income inequality, certainly. Second subgroup will be net income, poverty, and social benefits. And third subgroup will be the other interesting relations. So first of all, income inequality relations. You can see that there is positive relations between income inequality and tertiary graduates, both way. that can indicate that with a growing number of tertiary graduated people, income inequality grows. It could be caused by growing number of tertiary educated people within upper quintile of people. What is interesting is the opposite direction. It means that higher income inequality could cause higher number of tertiary graduates. That can be positive result of motivation, as I mentioned. There is both way negative relations between tax quota, or more precisely, taxes collected, and income inequality. That means that the country with higher tax collection has lower income inequality. It is quite expectable because high taxes, ceteris paribus, means higher redistribution, and through redistribution, income inequality narrows. But there is also opposite negative relations. So higher income inequality could lower the tax quota. It can be a result of, for example, problems with tax collection from low-income people, and also when income inequality is really big, so many people with high income can, for example, change their domicile and so on. Okay, the same relation are between GDP and income inequality. So richer countries have lower income inequality, and high level of income inequality could cause low level of GDP. So that is very interesting, especially for politicians, because if the goal of economic policy is high level of GDP, then income inequality have to be considered. The negative relations are also between inflation and income inequality. So higher inflation may lower income inequality. That probably shows that higher inflation dissolves savings of richer people, which could be source of some part of their income. Therefore, income inequality narrows. Higher income inequality lowers inflation. So it is probably a result that the people with higher income have more savings, and they postpone their consumption, so inflation goes down. There is also both way positive relations between median age, and income inequality. So higher median age means higher income inequality. It is not surprising because, as I said, people in retirement has lower income. Poverty and income inequality have also positive relations. So higher poverty rate can cause higher income inequality, and higher income inequality can cause higher poverty. Last positive relations are between debts. It means debts of households and income inequality. So higher level of debts means a higher income inequality, and vice versa. So it means that probably people with low income solve their problems thanks to debts. In second subgroup, I only focus on some of these relations. For example, net income may influence positively crime rate. And positively, I mean statistically positively. It means that countries with higher net income have also higher number of crimes. So it's not positively in real world. There is also positive relations between net income and life expectancy. So higher income may push life expectancy up, but higher life expectancy can also increase net income. It's probably during longer life can earn more money. And net income has both way positive link also with social benefits. It's probably caused by bigger redistribution in countries with higher income. Then the poverty rate variable, we can see that higher GDP can raise poverty rates. So that's interesting that that could be a reason why in richer countries redistribution grows, that politicians want to lower poverty rate. Interesting links are also between medium age and poverty. They are both way negative. So higher median age means lower poverty. It could be, for example, a result of state pension system that this system prevents people in retirement to fall into poverty. Also, relation with poverty is negative from GDP growth. So that means that fast-growing economies could have fewer problems with poverty. There's an interesting difference that fast-growing economies has less problems with poverty, but richer countries in absolute way have bigger problems. Now, social benefits variable, we can see that higher social benefits can imply higher median age. That is probably the result of state social system in general, which can provide better and longer life for inhabitants. On the other hand, longer life expectancy may lower social benefits. So we can assume that aging can force governments to lower social benefits due to future financial obligation. And the last subgroup is other interesting relations. We can see that there is both way positive links between tertiary graduates and GDP. So higher number of tertiary graduates could lead to higher GDP and vice versa. Also, median age may push numbers of graduates up. Tax quota has both way positive relations with number of crimes. So more taxes can mean more crimes. So that is unforeseen because the higher taxes, we expected that more redistribution, lower social tensions, and therefore crime rate. But the relation is in that way. The opposite direction is more expectable. More crimes could lead politicians to react by more spending in safety area, and because of that, they have to raise tax quota. But higher taxes, on the other hand, may slow GDP growth, as we can see. Higher GDP can lead to lower number of crimes, and there are both way positive links between GDP and debt to income. So economy can be fueled by growing debts, and richer economy may also be cause of rising debts of households. Also, there is positive links with inflation and debts. So it means that debts may fuel inflation, which is expectable, and higher inflation also could lead to higher debts. So that can be a result of households handling with higher prices. And last but not least, more debts can also lead to higher number of crimes, which is not surprising. And now conclusions. As we can see, there is positive and negative consequences of income inequality. Positive consequences are, for example, in tertiary graduates. So income inequality motivates to more tertiary graduates going up. And also higher income inequality may lower inflation, which can be thought as also as positive consequence. But on the other hand, there is negative consequences. It could increase poverty and debts of households, income inequality. And higher debts are linked to higher crime rate. So consequently, higher income inequality can lead to a higher number of crimes. But the relations between these economic variables are very complicated and interrelated. Therefore, there is little space to influence income inequality without interference of other economic variables. The politicians can, according to result of regression analysis, probably influence income inequality by taxation. Income inequality decreases with growing taxation, but on the other hand, more taxes may slow GDP growth, and higher level of GDP can lower income inequality itself. So there can be trade-off. But as I said, this analysis has some limits. Also, I pick only some of economic variables. There can be others which can be influenced, and only separated relations are analyzed. The further research can be focused on the whole cycle of these effects of income inequality and other variables through the chain. Thank you.